The background material in this video can be viewed at thewaythetruthandthelife.net. More specific references will be given in the notes.
Slaughter by white man.
And Mel, calm down. Mel, I feel like I'm talking to an angry woman.
You're right. Now you downplaying the Republicans. You just want to be Republicans. It's an all-white Republican.
Mel, you need to calm down. I feel like I'm talking to an angry female.
Your mom's an angry female.
Who?
Your mom.
Who?
Your mama.
My mama.
Yeah, your mama's an angry female. If you want to call me a female, your mom's the same thing.
You can't talk about my mama. My mama is dead.
You say I'm talking like an angry female. Like I still said, you cannot tell people what to do.
Mel, you sound like
a white Republican Party. Why don't you go? Look here.
You need to stop hating, Mel.
You know what? There is 30 states.
Mel, if you die,
from the Union.
God forbid, if you die with this racist heart of yours, you're going straight to hell.
That's where you go. I hope I don't meet you in hell.
I do too.
Because you are Negro.
Can you imagine meeting Mel in hell?
I wish I could take you to the woodshed
and do what?
Exactly what I told you to do.
What's that?
You know what I told you, Jack? You always pray before you come on. That's what you need, Negro.
To cut some wood.
The white folks don't
chop
want you
wood.
in the Republican Party. Keep talking about the Republican White Party.
Mel, you need Jesus. He's gone. Mel has become just like his mother.
Another one bites the dust.
There you go. He ran.
Another one bites the dust.
Put his tail between his legs.
Another one gone. Another one bites the dust.
See, folks, this is the impact that black mothers and grandmothers are having on their sons. They turn their sons into girls by imposing their will on their sons and causing them to hate the mothers, and you become like what you hate. You take on the identity. There's nothing manly about the way that male respond. And you can see a woman doing it, and it's not even good when a woman does it, but when a man is acting that way, it's shameful, for the lack of better words.
Have you cared for a mate and made a home? Have you had children and cared about the community that they grow into? Have you had children that grew up and you learned to care about the world of work and war that they grow into, or the education system that they're subject to? Have you felt the pain of things being degraded in your lifetime? Then you will very much find in Jesse a man who is able to care about family, home, community, and others, and shares your concern over the corrupt and degrading state that is happening in our society today.
Let's talk to Donald. Donald, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Am I on with you, Jesse?
You are on with me. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling you from Russia. I don't like to give the exact city. I'm in the Caucasus, and we have a lot of terrorism here, so I just as soon not identify.
Oh, okay. No problem. Donald, let me take this break. I'll come back to you. I'll be back to you. I need to take a break. 888-775-3773. Back in a moment.
I've traveled every road in this here land.
For the past 20 years, Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson has been all over the country on a dedicated mission to unite the races and bring conservative values back to America. His experience and ability to captivate an audience make him a highly sought-after speaker from Los Angeles to New York and everywhere in between. Jesse Lee Peterson has given speeches at Tea Party rallies, universities, conservative clubs, churches, pro-life events, men's groups, annual conventions, and more. But with so many different events all over the country, Jesse's schedule fills up quickly. So the time to book Reverend Peterson for your event is now. Call speaking coordinator Sherry Johnson and insist Jesse Lee Peterson speak in your city today. Call 1-877-WEAC-77. That's 1-877-932-2877 and ask where Jesse is speaking next. It may be near you because Jesse Lee Peterson goes everywhere.
I've been everywhere, man.
Okay, folks, welcome back. My Twitter handle is at JLP Talk, at JLP Talk. Taking your phone calls at 888-77-53773. Manhood Hour is coming up in the third hour. Let me go back to Donald. And Donald, you're calling from Russia. That's amazing.
Well, the internet makes it possible, and I've got Google telephone and Skype, and I don't know. I just returned in September, and actually, I'm calling you on Google. With the Google phone in America, you don't have to pay anything.
Oh, great!
And here it's with the internet, they think I'm in America, I guess, because I have an American Google phone number.
That is amazing. What time is it there?
Yeah.
What time is it there?
It's 6:30. It's 8 hours different than Eastern Standard Time. You got California time?
I do.
Yeah,
it's 6:34.
11 hours.
Wow. Well, welcome to the show, Donald.
Yeah. I first heard you on Roy Masters. I couldn't think of Roy's name.
Oh yes.
I just you touch my soul. I tell you. The truth that the Lord has shown you it just leaves me not alone because you hit right on.
Well,
but I
appreciate that. Thank you.
What you were talking about, even while I was waiting online or on the phone, you're talking about the women and children. There was a call the other day. I don't know. I listened to some of your podcasts. I'm not sure which day. It was just recently in the last week. And this gentleman called in and spoke about, I will give children to be your princes and babes shall rule over you.
Yeah.
And that, I got that open to Isaiah 3, and I'd like to just rehearse that again a little bit because there's wonderful depth to it, and it's right on for what we're experiencing.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Well, in the chapter 3, in the fourth and fifth verse, I'll read, I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them. And the people shall be oppressed, everyone by another, and everyone by his neighbor. The child shall behave himself proudly against the ancient. Of course, that's the elderly.
Yes.
And the base against the honorable. Now, then you go down to verse 12. It says, as for my children, as for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. My people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths.
That's amazing.
Russia is a generation ahead of its destruction in America. They had, in around 1917, they had the revolution, and it was really a women's liberation revolution.
Yep.
Engels said that marriage was an invention of the wealthy so they could have an inheritance to hand on to their son, power and all that stuff.
Yes.
But now here,
I was talking the other day about how I noticed that in this last election we just had, Obama and his administration, his friends, organized the young. And I've noticed over the last 4 years or so, they have been worshiping the young, putting them on a pedestal, lying to them, telling them that they are wise and they're smart. And the young believe that, so they were able to organize the angry blacks who hate white folks and want to hand out the liberal, godless women who want free sex and free condoms.
Jesse, you bring tears to my eyes. Let me tell you something that happened not this summer, but last summer. I had a grandson graduate from Niagara Falls High School in New York.
Yes.
And I didn't have a car at the time. My daughter-in-law picked me up. I was in Buffalo, and I rode with her and my grandson and granddaughter. And that was when New York State passed the gay marriage law.
Mm.
My little granddaughter that I took to Bible meetings with me and everything, she's only, I think she was 13 and 12 or 13. But I said they passed the homosexual marriage law. She goes, yay! And she puts her hands up. That's what they're teaching them in school.
Wow.
My little granddaughter was celebrating homosexuals getting married. And I don't know. Anyway,
I never thought, Donald, that I would see this happening in America. And it's just because America is 80% Christian, at least 80%, so they say. And yet evil is ruling in the manner that it is in a Judeo-Christian nation. It is just absolutely mind-blowing to me.
Well, Jesse, you shared your experience in the black community. I grew up in
Donald,
a farm community.
hold for me. Let me take one final break, and I'll come back and let you finish that point. Back in a moment.
So I run or I fight and I crawl or I...
Mark, good morning, sir. Thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse.
How are
I'm
you?
a big fan. I just got your book. Thank you very much. It was eye-opening. I love it very much. I recommend it for everybody. Scam. Everybody get this book. It will wake you up. That's for sure. I don't know anybody that has much courage as you two. It's amazing. I tell you, people, please buy this book.
Mark is talking about my book, Scam, How the Black Leadership Exploits Black America. It is a must read. Everybody and their mama should read that book. Nothing but the truth in there. I expose the so-called civil rights leaders, Jesse Jackson, Maxine Waters, Louis Farrakhan, Al Sharpton. If you would like to get an autographed copy of my book, Scam, go to my website and order it at bondinfo.org, bondinfo.org, or call 1-800-411-2663, 1-800-411-BOND.
Seen a lot of things in this old world. When I touch the baby, nothing, girl. Ooh, baby, here I am. I'm still delivered. I'm yours. I'm yours.
I'm getting texts from people wanting to know the Bible verse that Donald from Russia mentioned and read. It is Isaiah chapter 3, 4 through 5, where it talks about the young taking over. Isaiah chapter 3, 4 through 5. Donald, go on and make your point about when you were growing up. What happened?
Oh, I grew up in Niagara County in the country, and mothers were in the home, and it was the dip world, the war. I was born in 1939. The war took mothers out of the home, I guess. Well, it didn't in my community, but that's, anyway, the women's liberation come with that. But there was no such thing as race hatred. People in upstate New York, they have places there where they help blacks, what they called the railroad or something. At any rate, let me tell you, this summer I had to have cataract surgery at Buffalo Veterans Hospital. And I was shocked. There were two nice elderly black men there waiting in line. After you get the surgery, you got to go back and have your checkups and that.
Right.
And they told me how white people hate black people. And they're against Obama. Well, I'm against Obama, but it isn't because actually I might have voted for him, and that's a whole other thing I'd have to call again about the doctors. But
okay. You know,
let me just say these black men said how white people hate blacks. And I wasn't brought up with it. I paid over $5,000 to my daughter she adopted I've got two black grandsons from Haiti.
Yeah. Yeah.
One served as a helicopter repairman in Iraq, and that. So this hatred. I thank you so much for recognizing it.
Well, one thing for sure, white people, I'm sure they are now fed up with blacks. They are tired of the whimpering and whining and begging and complaining after all these years. But real racism is from blacks to whites. Black people are racist toward white people. And the thing that breaks my heart, Donald, is that not all, of course, but most black people are being used for evil. And it just breaks my heart to see that. And it's to a point that...
right on.
It's to the point that they allow blacks to believe that they believe in God. And then they cause them to support evil. And blacks can't see that you can't serve good and evil. You hate one and love the other. But day in and day out, black people are supporting everything that's evil. The first time around, 96% of them voted for Obama because he was black. Now they know what he's all about. They know that he's a son of Satan. And this time around, you had 93% of them voting for him. That includes the black preachers and their mama. And it is amazing to see how they're being used to bring a society to its
you're
knees.
Right on. Let me share what I understand that what happened in Russia, the communist revolution, was hate, teaching hatred for the class struggle. And that same thing has gone into many black churches. And my friend's a social studies teacher. I taught at Sweet Home High School as a physics teacher and a math teacher. I'm retired now, 72. But they're teaching class hatred.
Yep, exactly. And
it just like I hear we have to deal with Islam, and there are things in the Quran that say you have to only love your other Muslims, and if the other ones don't convert, hate them.
Yeah.
And this hatred stuff, and children are being indoctrinated. You're so right. Nobody wants my family back in the States. I can't talk to them. They don't want to hear any of the bad news.
It's unfortunate, too, because you can't bury your head in the sand about these issues and think that it's going to work out for the good. You got to allow good to work through you in order to deal with this evil. Well, and white Americans, not all but most, are afraid. They're afraid of being called racist and allow blacks and now Hispanics and the gays and abortion people to literally destroy America. It's just absolutely heartbreaking.
I still have a home in Kenmore, a suburb of Buffalo. Now people are afraid to go on the street. The vulgar language, and it's a mixed black and white because they're integrated, but there's so many of these young blacks were raised without a father, and their foul language.
Yep.
And threatening people, and the robberies and the crime has gone up so high. And the same thing with in the illegal migrants. I bought my parents' home when they went broke, in a condominium in Florida. So I have that too. And the same thing there. People are afraid to go out on the street now.
That's right. And what's amazing about this whole thing, Donald, is that within the black community itself, the black young people have turned on the elderly in the black community. Older people are afraid of their own people.
Yeah. I'm at McDonald's in Florida. This was a year ago. Talking to the young lady that worked there. She came from Buffalo to escape. She lived in the black community in Buffalo. She came to escape. There's so much crime and killing.
Yep. You destroy the family. When you destroy the family by destroying the man first, all of these things will come to the forefront. And that's why the attack was on the black man first.
Jesse, in Kenmore, New York, you can get arrested for hollering at your wife now.
I know. It's amazing.
And yet I have to sit there and listen to the woman next door scream at her children.
Yep. It's evil Hey, Donald, I have a woman on the line here want to ask you a question about the Bible verse that you read.
Yeah.
And do you want to speak with her?
Sure.
Let me just say this first. She's going to ask you the question about it, but she's not going to listen to the answer.
I've heard a couple like that on the shows that I've listened to.
Hold on a minute. Let me take a quick break. And when I come back, I'll let Maze ask you the question so that she can speak over you while you're trying to answer it. Back in a moment.
I'm going to be on your neck like an alligator.
Hi, my name is Lucy Highlands. I am a proud supporter of Bond. I just received this latest special report on the high-tech lynching of George Zimmerman. I have to thank Jesse Lee. I'm moved to tears. Actually, I am. I can't believe how right on he always is, and I'm so grateful to be a part of Bond. Thank him, please, from me for being truly a voice of reason. I don't know what it's coming to, but we need more Jessies. Thank you so much.
Isn't that nice? If I could get one person to wake up, point them toward the source who awakened them, I've done my job. If you're not getting those reports by mail, call 1-800-411-BOND, 1-800-411-2663, and ask to be added to the mailing list. You can also go on my website and sign up for it as well, bondinfo.org or bondaction.org.
Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name, 'cause you burn with the God's flame, and the world's gonna know your name, and you'll be on the walls.
Like me on my Facebook page. Like me. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific Time, 9 to noon Eastern Time. Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. Manhood Hour is coming up in the third hour today. In the third hour. You don't want to miss out on that. Let me go back to the busy phones, 888-775-3773. I want to go back to Russia and talk to Donald. Donald, are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to let Maze from Dayton, Ohio, ask you a question. And then when you try to answer the question, she's going to speak over you so she doesn't hear the answer. Let's go to Maze. Maze, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Jesse.
Hello, Maze. You're on with Donald.
Oh, so you talking to somebody from Russia, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
The question I have is the scripture that he read from Isaiah, and who is Isaiah? If you allow me, Jesse, to give him an answer after he finishes.
Okay, if you promise to allow him to answer you.
I'm waiting.
Did you hear the question,
Yes.
Donald?
What, Isaiah was a prophet, very famous prophet.
So those are not God's words, are they? That's a man, right?
This is a prophet of God. Chapter 3, when you start with it, it goes, "For behold, the Lord, the Lord of hosts, doth take away from his people the mighty men, the men of war, the judge, the prophet, the prudent, the ancient, the captain of 50, the honorable man, the counselor, the cunning artificer, the eloquent orator." This is the Lord speaking through the prophet, because he's speaking of the day of women's liberation when the man's no longer respected.
Okay, now you finished.
So, they're inspired by God. Yes. Those words. Go ahead.
Those are not God's words. That's man saying God said. That's what he gives himself confused at.
How do you know they're not God's words?
They're not his words.
How do you know that?
Let me help me, because
let me help you.
Could I share a little insight?
No, you can't.
Hold on, Maze. Let him respond. Hold on, Maze. Hold on. Go ahead.
Let me respond after.
I will.
Jesus said, "It's better I go away. I will send the Spirit of truth.
You don't know the Spirit
and
when you see it.
It will teach you all things and bring you into remembrance whatsoever I said." Now, I'm a
When did you-
mathematical physicist.
When did
We
you
have
start using
discovered
this
more
theory?
of God's laws in the last 100 years. When my grandmother was a little girl, they didn't even have railroads.
No, no,
She
no,
walked
no.
through
When my
the woods.
grandmother was a little girl, my grandmother was born in 1901, and she lived to be 100 and some years old, and I got to enjoy her each day of her life.
Hey,
After I was born.
Well, she didn't eat at McDonald's,
let me ask
that's for sure.
I'm not talking about your grandma. I want to ask you some questions.
hold on, man. Donald, thank you for calling, man. Call me again.
Yeah. Okay, I'll call you Friday. How's that?
I would love that.
All right.
All right, buddy.
Thanks.
Okay. 888-7753-773. Back in a moment. I've come to understand anger over the last 22 years or so because I had to overcome it myself. But from counseling with people, it's just been amazing. The primary problem, a relationship or individual life, whether it's a marriage or a friendship, is anger. When you have anger, you cannot see how to deal with the situation because you're operating out of darkness, and that anger tends to cause you to make all the wrong decisions.
How would you like to find a way to overcome your most personal problems? If you're ready, we can help. Let the professional counseling services of Bond, the Brotherhood organization of a new destiny, help you conquer your most serious problems right now. Call 1-800-411-2663 to make your appointment today.
To find more of Jesse Lee Peterson's videos, just search Jesse Lee Peterson on YouTube. There's 2 background videos that you might be interested in from my point of view, and that search YouTube for 073, The Way, the Truth, and the Life, and 074, The Way, the Truth, and the Life on YouTube.